So, uh, so welcome to this video in which I take this opportunity to congratulate a very exceptional person, a person who has faced down the horde and the mob and the cries of the horde and the terrifying cries of that horde and mob, and come out victorious against, well, for many, I suppose, if you were to believe what was being said, against all odds. I have nothing but respect for this woman at the age of 68. As you know, my channel is called 68. She's 68 years old. She has a resume that is unrivaled in the movie business. But as soon as she got involved with Star Wars, all hell broke loose. And I honestly believe that a lot of it has to do with other things, to do with the political persuasions of the people that were going after her. But let's look at what we're talking about here. Kathleen Kennedy. Apparently, Kathleen Kennedy gets to stay on for 3 more years as the head of Lucasfilms with Disney. For the past 3 years, to be honest with you, as far back as I can remember, all I've heard is that Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. Kathleen Kennedy is the worst thing that ever happened to Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy this, Kathleen Kennedy that. Every week, every day, she's about to be replaced by somebody else. She's no good. She's horrible. She's incompetent. I heard somebody say she was incompetent. I could not believe it. You know what? I was so intrigued that there was one particular source that I kept on going back to, because I knew that it was going to be toxic and poisonous, and there was going to be nothing good to be said about it, and I just wanted to see what was going on. Then I go check. I did my own research in regards to this lady. Now, I didn't necessarily believe. Now, let's look at some of the stuff that got the Star Wars fandom universe all fucking upset and had their panties in a twist. Now, that's somebody mocking them. Let's go here. No, not there. I think it. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have put that one in. Yeah, but we'll go there later. We'll go there later. But what I'm looking for, okay, 1 second. I suppose we have to start here. We'll start here. It says, you know what, let me make this bigger, because the bottom is where you're supposed to start. Culture Crave put this out. When they put that out, the Kathleen Kennedy has reportedly extended her Lucasfilm contract for another 3 years. Now, this had a whole bunch of Kathleen Kennedy haters very, very perturbed. Now, the face I just showed you just a minute ago, this face here accurately reflects the despair of the Kathleen Kennedy hater right there. This lady's channel, all right, and she's entitled to her opinion, is called the Smugglers Cantina. She is a right-winger, and she hates everything to do with Kathleen Kennedy, multiculturalism, and so on and so forth. It is what it is. She's entitled to that belief. But I think there's something way deeper than that. If you go onto her channel, which we will in a moment, I'll show you something about her. You know what I'm saying? I watch quite a bit of her stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? That's her right there. You know what I mean? They say that blondes are supposed to have fun. But, you know, in her case, she's very, very vulgar in the way she talks about these people, particularly Kathleen Kennedy. And she's nothing but a continuous fucking barking dog. A bit like the one she has that she's always talking about. When she talks about these things, she has no qualms whatsoever with joining with some of the most toxic channels out there in order to get her point across. You know what I'm saying? Recently, she joined with some guy called Doomcock. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to be a grown-ass woman and go on a channel called Doomcock? And that one has been proven to be nothing but a sensationalist, well, at best, and a liar at worst. That's what they say anyway, and that's saying something for the sphere in which these Star Wars fans dwell. Now, going back to the initial news, I didn't believe it until this guy put it up. Okay? When this guy put it up, that's when I felt, okay, there's got to be something to it. All right? But I had to wait because a lot of them didn't want to believe the news. And this is somebody who's mocking them, saying, Kathleen Kennedy laughing at all the fandom menace turds thinking she was going to be fired. That's exactly how I feel. This woman's resume is unfucking rivaled, man. But obviously, let's going back to this dude. This dude here, John Campea, he lists the reasons why he thought she might be leaving, but he didn't want to get involved in the level of toxicity that was coming from the fan base of Star Wars. Now, let's just put Star Wars in its proper context. And the reason why somebody would go as far as to call these people man babies, particularly, a majority of them are fucking white men. And you excuse me for saying fucking white men, but fucking white men, grown ass men, who don't go out and get proper jobs and thought, okay, you know what, this is a good source of revenue and income to attack this woman who has done enormous work. You go on the International Movie Database and look at the record of this woman. I didn't even know anything about her. I thought she was just some incompetent fuck that they put in there, And maybe that's why the Star Wars people were getting pissed off at her. And then I went back and looked at this woman's record, and I thought, like, how dare these I don't even know how to describe these people. How dare these people who have done nothing, and I'm basically probably saved by YouTube, say something about a woman like this who's been doing movies as far back as E.T. Her record is impeccable. This lady, going back to this lady here, when Kathleen Kennedy got her international award, this lady was on film because she can't stand Kathleen Kennedy. There's something about that. I think it's got something to do with the way Kathleen Kennedy looks at 68 and the way she probably looks at, I don't know, she looks like she's 50. She looks like she's 52 or something like that. I think it's got something to do with that. But anyway, when Kathleen Kennedy won an international and technical award or some international internet film science and technical award, this woman here, and you have to listen to her raspy voice because she sounds like this. Well, and the funny thing is she's very unpleasant too. So you got this raspy voice that is quite unpleasant because she gets these bouts of anger, these flashes of anger. Like she turns almost like into a gargoyle when she's talking, when somebody challenges her. You know what I'm saying? Well, I didn't really say that. And if you want me to explain it, you want me to draw it in crayons for you, then fine. She gets really nasty. This guy here who was mocking, one second, yo. This guy here who was mocking the fans, he says, no, not the fans. Let's not call them fans because a lot of them, I'll speak to that in a minute. A lot of them aren't really fans because that is just fucking ridiculous. He says, but how could this be? This is when he was sort of referring to the let's go. When he was referring to what Culture Crave put out. So you see what Culture Crave, and this is him right there. That's him right there, okay? So we go back to let's enlarge what he said. And this is what he says. He says, but how could this be? A bunch of spluttering, mad YouTube randos with walls of Funkos behind them said their uncle's cousin's roommate works at Lucasfilm and heard Kennedy was on the way out. And that really does, to a certain degree, explain that woman, you know what I mean, to a T. This lady here, you know what I'm saying? Well, I heard from sources because, the rumor is this is what's going to happen because they're saying that this. Now, I'll have to be honest, she's not as bad, and you can see by her views, despite the level of toxic bile that comes from this woman in regards to Kathleen Kennedy and some other guy, some Pablo whatever, who she called a red diaper baby because I think he was a red diaper baby. You know what I mean? She's just always got something nasty to say to somebody who doesn't agree with her, who isn't a right wing and want to fucking kill immigrants and shoot them at the border or some shit, or who doesn't live in fucking Trump country or wherever the fuck. But she's entitled to a political view. But if you're gonna bring that bullshit into Star Wars, then some other person might want to bring their stuff into Star Wars, all right? And it just so happens that they are the ones who have the power. You know what I mean? They are the ones who have the power, and you have to deal with it. And you're too fucking old to be this mad over a fucking narrative, a story, a fictional story that says long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This grown-ass woman has got a problem with the way things are put together because there's some fictional story about good versus evil. You can't go wrong there, really, to be honest. Good versus evil and a bunch of fictional fucking supernatural, almost religious order called the Jedis. We haven't seen that before. Or maybe a woman was made into was allowed into that order. Or we haven't. Listen, they just went fucking mad. And the reason why I say that, a lot of it probably has to do with the sort of residue that came from Gamergate. You understand? We live in a universe right now, okay, where the Quartering, who has 1.14 million subscribers, if I'm not mistaken, to his YouTube channel. 1.4. He comes around and says, like, I feel for you guys, you Star Wars fans, because they still have Kathleen Kennedy in place. I understand what it's like for somebody to try and destroy what you love. We live in a bizarro universe where this dude called the Quartering, who's always upset because there might be some people who feel like the images of women in anime might just not necessarily be appropriate for today's audience. Always get upset because, okay, that's wokeness, that's feminism, that's some other shit. You know what I mean? He's always got a problem with that. That's always his chief, how can I put it? His main point of concern, his raison d'etre, his main purpose on YouTube is to call out this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That is just unnecessary, really, but applies to a whole bunch of these toxic young men who were swatting or calling bomb fucking threats to Anna Sarkeesian, I believe her name was back then. You know what I mean? Whenever she wanted to speak. And I suppose this lady here backed what they were doing back then, because I've heard the way she talks and everything she does. I was actually quite surprised to realize in one of her videos that she has a husband. I'm thinking to myself, nigga, run, nigga, run. And I'm saying the N word deliberately. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, moving on. So, we live in a world where the Quartering can say things like Megan Fox is gross. Now, I don't know whether you've seen the Quartering. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put his image up here. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, the Quartering is the kind of young guy you expect to be dating this lady here. You know what I mean? Just so you can get some. And so she can get some as well. But that being said, you know what I mean? Let's not talk about the private sex lives of certain white people. Let's move on. Let's go back to Kathleen Kennedy. So here's all the videos that came out, lamenting Kathleen Kennedy. Oh my God, Kathleen Kennedy, gets another 3 years. Oh, him. You see this guy here? He's with Star Wars Theory. He's the one who they had a problem with the fact that some guy called Pablo something, who runs probably a comic book something, I don't know. I don't really know what goes on in that world. That woman, she knows about it. She called it, he's a fit type of baby. This guy here, he made his own independent film of Star Wars. It wasn't bad, but you know, they were kind of like against it. Like, listen, man, we can't encourage that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and he started crying on YouTube. They won't let me put my film out. It's a fan film. It's a fan. So he made one, okay, basically. And you know, it is what it is. It came and went. It was just a fucking homage. You know what I'm saying? It was self-indulgent, really, because what purpose did it actually serve? Nothing, really. It served no purpose, but I suppose he probably put some money in his pocket. I don't think he was allowed to make any profit from it. So eventually they sort of came to some sort of agreement. But anyway, Kathleen Kennedy gets her contract extended. You know what I'm saying? Kathleen Kennedy is still president at Lucasfilm. Breaking news, Kathleen Kennedy officially staying at Lucasfilm. Oh, this guy is the worst. You should Justin is lost. One of the worst. I used to think like, this is more or less about money, look, but his views have dropped though. He only made 996. Him and the other one, Mark Zero, whatever his name is. Carano returns. Carano's their heroine. You know what I mean? Because she's leading the, what they call the resistance, to political correctness. You know what I'm saying? She's leading it. That's what they're on about. Anyway, what else we got? Kathleen responds to Star Wars fans' outrage. Kennedy says Star Wars not made for us. That was 2 weeks ago. Let's actually have a look at that. What this one's crying about. Let's look at that. So here we are. This is what she said, really.
Be people when you make something that's somewhat controversial that are just flat out not going to like.
I don't know why it's stuttering.
Like what you're doing, right? And we didn't make the movie.
It's stuttering. I thought it was going to do better than that. All right, let's see whether we can try.
Ultimately, if that's their response.
So let's try again, right? Maybe I should have just recorded the volume of it, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because this one's not working. Let's see.
To be people when you make something that's somewhat controversial that are just flat out not going to like what you're doing, right? And we didn't make the movie for them.
Our people are just gonna flat out hate what you're doing. Not like just criticize everything, you know, something here. Not just criticize everything, but you know, criticize certain things and say, okay, you know, we could have done, but just flat out hate. Well, listen, we didn't make the video for you. We didn't make the movie for you then. You know what I'm saying? But you know what though? What you see, what I really think that people hate about this woman is like she's a woman with power. She's somewhat beautiful for her age. She's done immense. Look at that face for 68 years old. I mean, seriously, you see that, and then you see something like, I don't know, where's that? Wait, you see that? Okay, and you see that? You know what I mean? You understand what the problem really is. You kind of understand what the problem is. I mean, hey, we don't judge people by looks, but I gotta be honest, man. If you listen to this woman, you can understand that her look, her particular look, sort of fits her soul. You know what I mean? It kind of suits her, really. I don't want to roast this woman, but you know what, man? I've been listening to her in a not self-righteous, but this sort of self-importance that she attaches to her own fucking opinion. This is where he's gonna be, guys. This is how I think is happening. I just listened to her, and you know what? Let's go to a channel. This is the real reason why I don't like what she does. It's not like I don't like her, but what she does. Let's go see her channel. I'll show you what's going on. So this is her channel, okay? This is her channel. All right, and one second, yeah. And this is what I don't like about her. Look at this is some stalker shit. Look at the amount of X's she's put over this woman's face. You know what I mean? Just all over the place. This is what a fucking stalker or a fucking single white female does. The hate is real. What the fuck have you done to do this type of stuff to another woman? If you dislike the woman, fine, fair enough. You don't do this to no man, but you do it to a white woman like you. You know what I'm saying? You've got problems all the fucking time. You seem to know better. That's a picture of her right there, just in case. When she went on Dunkirk. I went on Dunkirk. That's her right there. You know, I just get... Oh, she said she was hacked? I know that's true. Whenever they do something out of line, then they say, "Oh yeah, is this the Pablo guy she was talking about? He's a red diamond, baby. Look. Talk about obsession. You know what I mean? What this? Look, there's another one. Look, what's this shit here? Who does this type of stuff? Look at it. This is not normal behavior. This is not fucking normal behavior. As I said, she's entitled to her opinion, but this is not normal behavior. You don't know this person personally. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. And you're a woman like her. You know what I mean? Just so happens that she's done great things in life, and all you did, in all honesty, was be some fucking side piece for some senator in the 90s. Yeah, I saw that video. You should have seen it. You look like a hoe in that. You had dark hair too, so you're not even a real blonde. You know what I mean? That still didn't help, did it? You know what I mean? Nah, listen, man. Love is love, though. I think you might be sick. Look, that's her face there. Kennedy rumor doesn't ring true. Yeah, I think she's gonna leave, guys. I think she's gonna die tomorrow. And yeah. Anyway, man, that's a video I'm gonna put out. It is what it is. You just leave it. Look, more. That's 3 months ago. We could go back ages. Look at that. She don't do that to no white men on here. You know what I mean? None of the men. I'm pretty certain there's men she don't like. So why did she take it upon herself? And despite it all, look at the views she gets. Just about every other one of those white guys, right, that does this shit, and they don't even go to this extent. None of them would actually probably do this. She's probably doing it because she's a woman, and she's very spiteful, a very spiteful, nasty person. Look at this. You know what I mean? Look at the views she gets. At most 200. All of them other guys that cash in have turned it into an industry. Okay, and here's my theory. Okay, to finish off. 1 second. Let's leave this lady's page. You know what I mean? Look at her kissing up to Carano. Anyway, here's my theory about what happened with the lady and why they decided to extend the contract. I'm not particularly certain that Disney are that happy with her performance. But they look at her track record. They know that she's internationally recognized, internationally respected. They know that she's had some wins. She's actually made profits with the movies that a lot of the toxic fandom base seem to dislike and hate. Those movies had made some profit. She's made some losses too, but they understand that there's been these social media campaigns against those movies to fail anyway. And here's the thing. I think it got to a point whereby it stops being rational and becomes irrational to actually honor the wishes of these people because of the lies, the misinformation, and the propaganda that they were putting out. And if they capitulated to that, to people such as this lady here, okay, if they capitulated to this Empress Palpatine type of woman here, that means you will forever be in their debt, or under their thumb. Not in their debt, but under their thumb. You don't owe them anything, but they will forever be able to make demands of you and get rid of it. And you've got to understand this, that they will never be satisfied. Because what I said before is that some of them have turned it into an industry where they make money. So even if they were to get rid of somebody like Kathleen Kennedy, what really sells for them is to have an enemy that they can point to and say, like, this person's no fucking good, she's a piece of shit, she's getting fired tomorrow, and all these people go swarming over there, this woman. So let's say they replaced it with a white guy like they really like, and you think that they would want the criticism to stop? No, they would start looking for some reason to suggest that he's woke too, and he's sort of capitulated to the social justice warriors, and then they start all over again. Because it is beneficial to them, I suppose, as a form of therapy to deal with their toxicity and everything else that's bothering them personally in their lives. And from a, I suppose, financial perspective, it benefits them, so they wouldn't stop. So if they were to give in to them and let these people make these demands and get Kathleen Kennedy out of there, Kathleen Kennedy out of there, you know what I'm saying, then it's all over. Disney would never be free of these people. And Disney's bigger than these fucking ridiculous Star Wars poisonous poisonous cabal of fans on social media that just, I mean, seriously, I just saw something when they put her record down. I find that some people, I don't know that much about it, but some people call them out like, nah, it's a lie. Like, for example, supposedly she had a problem with the directors of the last series of Game of Thrones. It didn't work out. They went for another However, they blame her. Now, what they always say is that there's some reason she's always got what they call creative differences. I suppose that's a euphemism for other things. Who knows? But let's keep it real. If that was a man, and he was very demanding, and we've heard about these type of directors and producers in the past who ruled these studios with an iron fist, why would that be a problem? How come when it comes to Star Wars, with this fucking ridiculous childish story of good versus evil in a galaxy far, far away, where, let's keep it real, in all honesty, white men are still on top. Emperor Palpatine is still a white guy, okay? And the heroic figures are still white. Luke Skywalker and Harrison Ford and, you know what I mean, Han Solo, they're all still white men from the 70s. Then you bring it into the 2000s and 20s, and somebody says, okay, you know what, maybe we need to change this around a little bit. Oh, it's woke. Oh, you make the stormtrooper black. That's fucking outrageous. How dare you do that? None of them. Let me tell you something. If Kathleen Kennedy had made the Phantom Menace, they would have killed her too. Because the Phantom Menace, the prequels were not that good. It was a bunch of CGI bullshit. And I think it was a lesson to everybody, to be honest with you, that you cannot necessarily use CGI, because CGI was just relatively new at the time when Phantom Menace came out. And when you overuse it like that, it sort of spoils the whole damn thing. I remember George Lucas actually saying that, look, the problem with a lot of people who had a problem with the prequels was that they tend to forget that these movies were made for children. And then, even though I sort of disliked the movies a bit, I stopped. I thought, well, you know what? The guy who made it, this is what he said. Most of the actors that had something to do with Star Wars over the years, they faced all sorts of problems. We all know that Carrie Fisher had some fucking addiction problems. Mark Hamill, always, I think he actively wants to participate in destroying this fucking mythical veneration. Can I call it that? This sort of mythical, this sort of untouchable myth of Star Wars. That's why he participated one of the worst. When he drank that green milk, that was horrible, and he died. That was a horrible movie. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. They were not good movies. You know what I'm saying? And Star Wars fans, just like now, they were on. Well, they expressed their outrage, but Kathleen Kennedy getting signed again is definitely put them on fucking suicide watch. Put them on suicide watch, man. But I'm personally glad. I don't think she deserves all the attacks, and she probably should have been out of there. But due to the nature of people, such as this lady here, I think I think she's evil. Come on, man, it's too much. Look at yourself in the mirror. So I'm glad 3 more years of Kathleen Kennedy. Hopefully, creative, whatever the fuck they got, creative differences or not, she's going to produce some movies. If they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad. But it's up to Disney and their bottom line. Obviously, she's making a profit. Obviously, there's got to be some benefit and advantage to it. And obviously, there's not enough of you fucking weirdos out there who keep on saying that you're going to do this, you're going to do that, to stop actually subscribing to Disney. And once you subscribe to Disney, you're gonna get the mandate, you're gonna get all the shit that you really like. You're tied in, you're addicts, regardless of what she does. You're gonna keep on signing on, and you're gonna keep on hearing about some new shit coming down the pipeline, Boba Fett or whatever the fuck, and you're gonna keep with it, and you're gonna keep on saying, well, you can't give Kathleen Kennedy any credit for that. I think she's just a figurehead. Yeah. She's just a figurehead. How you gonna be just a figurehead, but suddenly you're the one firing all these directors, but she's just a figurehead? Give me a fucking break. She rules with an iron fist, just like those white men do. Y'all don't like it, it is what it is. I'm no feminist, but I hate this double standard the motherfuckers have towards this lady. You know what I mean? Towards this lady. You know? I bet she's horrible to work for. I bet she's demanding. So fucking what? You know what I mean? God knows what the fuck she had to go through. Look at this. You see? Some of you are weird. You're crying that she's... You're crying that she's obviously staying. However, you are still excited for new Star Wars shows. That sums it up. Done it. Some of y'all are weird. You're crying that she's obviously staying, however, you're still excited for the new Star Wars shows. You're hooked. You're her bitches. You're her bitches. All you gonna do is complain, and then she's going for bitch slap you, send you back out there, alright, to hit the road, get some tricks, and bring back the fucking money to Disney. You understand me? Even if you got a busted ass face like this.